Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of y'all, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Let me go ahead and point out to you all a particular enemy. He created his account on, I think it was on just July 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here when he started his account. July 3rd. He joined July 3rd. And the day I'm recording this is July 3rd. So this guy literally just now started his account for the purpose of trolling. If you go to Edward Allen Anderson's video entitled "What Y'all Really Need to Be Scurred Off." Sorry, Edward, but I'm not going to read it correctly when you spelled it incorrectly. I'm going to make jokes about that for the fun of it. It's okay, man. You can tease me too. Now, scurred, that was supposed to be spelled that way, but off, oh, come on, bruh. Come on now. And listen, for the rest of you all, this is an inside joke between me and Edward. We tease each other. This is not a license for you all to start really seriously ranking on him just to insult him. Anyway, V. Leon started this account, and he said, "You have to look at the situation for what it is. The community has far too many fatherless children as it is, and you said most black men are childless. The best solution would be for most of the productive childless men to take on families with the single women with children. Just because a man impregnates a woman, that does not make her a father." Did you mean to say him, V. Leon? And then comma, not period, but comma. Because V. Leon, you slept through English class in school. Now you want to teach. Comma, there are lots of childless men out here that would make better father figures for those fatherless children. After a generation or two of childless men taking on this role, we would see massive improvement for the community. Man, look. V. Leon, you already are aware of the responses your country behind got. You were telling men to accept being genetic simps and cuckolds. Now, when some men volunteer for this for other reasons, like the child is related to them, maybe the child's related to his wife, but it's not his wife's kid from an irresponsible ninja. Maybe he just bonded with someone else's kid, and the kid was generally good but just didn't have what they needed. The man stepped up on his own, voluntarily, not as part of a program telling him that he should have to do it just because the mother didn't want to screw him because he wasn't swagged out. Then that's fine. But a lady stepped up. The men stepped in and said what they had to say. Mumia Obsidian Ali replied, "I did." Edward Anderson replied. But Angela Seif came along and said, "No, that's a horrible idea. Why would single, childless black men ruin their lives taking on someone else's responsibilities? You're just allowing these chicks to continue doing whatever and these black men cleaning up their mess." Now, Don Calypso said that this is a reason to rescind some people's First and Eighth Amendment rights. And I get it. I really do. I'll be honest with y'all. V. Leon is an enemy to NSBM. Non-stereotypical and non-select black men. Whichever one you want to use the acronym to mean. Really, non-stereotypical means non-select in the eyes of black women. Western black women, that is. And westernized black women. That's what the F it means. Nothing else. If you ain't the stereotype, you ain't select. V. Leon is an enemy to those men. And he may not have meant to be. But understand, pro-black can no longer mean anti-black male. It can no longer mean anti-NSBM. Pro-idness can no longer mean this. Because until the day that we look at the N-word culture, the idness culture, and we say, shuck that fit, it's inferior, it's monkey business, It's nasty. It's low life. It's something that nobody should have to tolerate. It's beneath us until that day. Let me just go ahead and say it. We are N-words. And we ain't gonna get free. This is something that should be known. This is something that should be elementary. This is something that should not have to be discussed, thought about, wondered about. None of that stuff. In the end, it comes down to exactly that. There should be absolutely no way, none, that type of culture is allowed. That type of culture is not shot down because of how inwardish it is, because of how stereotypical it is. You ain't swagged out. You ain't the Ninjarilla. So right off the bat, you supposed to have to step in and do other men's parts. See, I remember when one of my wife's African-American Muslim friends, you know, typical Salafi sister from Philadelphia, wanted to pay me a compliment. But she went about it the wrong way. She said that I should have one of those programs where the youth get mentored. And I said to her, thank you for having that kind of faith in me, but I shouldn't. And here's why. You know why she said it? See, I did something with my wife's bag. That's what it was. It was something regarding my wife's bag when we were traveling. We were actually in Medina. And yeah, I admit I love Medina. Gotta love it. So while we were in Medina, and I did something with my wife's bag in advance, I think I moved it somewhere that was very convenient. She said, I'm gonna get me one of them. She turned to my wife and said, I'm gonna get me one of them. And I thought she was talking about the bag. And I said, well, the bag is fine, but I mean, your bag is okay too. She said, I wasn't talking about the bag, silly. And then she pointed to me and mouthed, I'm talking about you. She meant she was going to get a husband like me. And then had to say, oh, well, that's pretty rare because there's a level of training that comes with this. And it ain't that common. But thank you for the compliment. I do mean that. And I did appreciate the compliment. So then I told her. She said later on, as we were going outside and I was putting the bag up, she was saying, you know, you really should be one of those mentors for the kids that they ain't got no father figures. And I told her that I really shouldn't, but I appreciated that compliment too. Why not? You'd be good at it. And I told her the reason is because there's a condition in order to make it work. And that condition is not very flattering. You wouldn't like it very much. What's that? I'd have to tell them boys exactly what their mothers don't want me telling them. Like what? Like how they were conceived. That's exactly what I have to tell these boys. Their moms do not want me to tell them how they were conceived, how their biological fathers were chosen. That's what they don't want. And that's exactly what the moms need to know. I mean, that's exactly what the sons need to know. And that's exactly what the moms don't want me telling them. Now, I'm not going to tell you what her reaction was because somebody called her name and she had to go and see to them. But she didn't bring it up on the way home. What I want you all to take from this is that when people come and suggest this, that's an enemy. Now, I understand why it is that she would have suggested it, and I still don't agree, and I don't even forgive it. Where after I told her this once, I would not forgive her if she suggested it again. V. Leon has no excuse. Not anymore. V. Leon, if you made this account thinking you were going to try to teach us something and you were going to support your view, you're mistaken, because it's not a view that we can afford to respect. I'm not even saying this to talk down on you. If you really came in for pro-black reasons, I'm telling you that's a type of, that's an idea of pro-blackness we cannot afford. I hope this helps you. Thanks for listening. Black Heart, Black Mind, Black Out. Assalamu alaikum. And as always, black, heterosexual, NS male power just because they don't like it in black patriarchy till extinction or judgment day.